guys, welcome back to Real Time JC, Real Time Jesus with me, Stephanie. Today is episode 14, and the title of today's little devotion is, Oops, I did it again. Stop, collaborate, and listen with Jesus. If it's your first time joining me today, I just wanted to take a quick second and say thank you. Thank you so much. Real Time JC is, in reality, literally my real-time journey with Jesus. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I film what God is doing in my life, what He wants me to share with you right after I have my date with Jesus. And I'm not kidding you. You can ask my family who lives here with me. I literally come up right after I get my coffee and my quiet time, and I sit down and I film these episodes. And my hope is that you feel encouraged, that you feel a little bit more peace to tackle your day, and that you share with your friends what God is doing in your life. I get nothing out of this. I feel blessed out of it, out of filming these episodes, because this is my purpose. And this is what God has called me to do in this season. And I'm excited to walk this journey with you. So let's dig in a little bit to this episode, the Oops, I Did It Again. The verse that God impressed upon my heart, and actually He impressed this specific verse yesterday, but reminded me of it this morning as I was working and processing through some things with Him. It's Isaiah 54:10, and it says, "Even if the mountains were to crumble and the hills disappear, my heart of steadfast, faithful love will never leave you, and my covenant of peace with you will never be shaken, says Yahweh, whose love and compassion will never give up on you." And guys, I was reminded of this yesterday as I was going through a pretty stressful time. Actually, the last couple of weeks have been a little on edge. I'm in my day job. I'm a real estate agent here in Arizona in the Surprise, Phoenix area. And my business partner and good friend and I were working through a transaction to get it closed. Actually, yesterday, November 14th, and it wasn't the smoothest of transactions. It seemed like things just kept going wrong. And at some point, I was out there literally raking rocks to try to clear some HOA violations. It's pretty crazy here in the Surprise area with the HOAs. And it became stressful. But what God did in those moments is He taught me to give it to Him. Like every single moment that I started to feel overwhelmed, like there's no way that I can do this. I would go, God, like, seriously, can you help me? I mean, in an episode before, we talked about just giving things to God, just letting out, venting it to Him, because He is the one person who is God also that we are supposed to vent to. We are supposed to let all of our emotions out to and give it all to Him. And I was thankful that I was remembering to do what I was teaching you. I was I can't even talk to this morning, remembering to do in those moments. But every time that I did that, every time that I gave Him control, he would bring someone to mind to help me. And He did the same thing with my real estate partner too. Something that we could not accomplish on our own. He would bring someone to mind, and that person was there to help us through that. Well, yesterday was the actual day of that closing. And I can remember I caught myself in a moment. I literally said out loud, if we can just get this closed, all of my stress will disappear. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. Because what that meant is that I was taking on all of the stuff, all of the things, as in it was all on me. It was all my responsibility to get this transaction closed. It was nobody else's responsibility. I was doing all this on my own. I was taking all this on. And God really convicted me in that moment. And I actually said it out loud, like, God is convicting me right now because I'm not inviting Him into this moment. I'm not giving to Him the credit that is due for all that He has done through this time. And while this may seem very minor to you guys, like you may be walking through something very, 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 very magnificent in a sense that it doesn't feel great. It's great in the sense of it's something that is affecting your life in a magnificent way. Negatively, should I say. Maybe you have just discovered a diagnosis that is, maybe it's something that's threatening your life. Maybe you are walking through a lost loved one, and you have just received the news that your loved one is about to pass away. Maybe you have lost a friendship of someone who was near and dear to you, and something's happened, and suddenly it's just done, and you don't know what else to do. Maybe you're walking through a divorce right now. There's just so many things in this life that we as humans walk through, and it's hard. It's God doesn't promise us easy times in this life, but what He does promise us is that He will be here with us, that He will never leave us, that He will never forsake us, He will never fail us, that He is the same yesterday, today, tomorrow, and forevermore. And when I was reading the Isaiah 54:10 this morning again, God just reiterated to me, like, let me come with you. I'm here no matter what. I'm with you no matter what. But let me help you process this. Process it with me. Stop in that moment when you're feeling stressed, when you're feeling like the things of this world are overwhelming you and you have nowhere else to go and you're trying to control it and you're trying to fix it. Stop for a minute. Collaborate with me and let me feed into you all of the wisdom and all of the knowledge of the kingdom of heaven. Because if you know the Lord, if you have accepted Him into your life and made a decision to follow Christ, He gives you His Holy Spirit as a deposit on this earth to live and dwell within you until the day of His return. It literally says that in the Bible. And all we have to do is just stop, collaborate, and listen to His Spirit. How beautiful is that? In Luke 23:44-45, it tells us as Jesus was dying, it says, it was now only midday, yet the whole world became dark for 3 hours as the light of the sun faded away. And suddenly in the temple, the thick veil hanging in the holy place was ripped in two. The power of God. As Jesus died on the cross for you, for me, so that we didn't have to carry the weight of our world, He carries it for us. He carried it for us. He literally died so that we didn't have to take it, that we didn't have to feel like we had to control it, that we had to fix it. We just had to stop. Through His death, through Him taking it all on, we could stop, collaborate, and then be deposited. I just can't talk this morning. Deposited all the things from heaven. Isn't that amazing? I mean, I just can't even comprehend all of the love that He has for me today and for you today. So I hope that encourages you today. I hope that you are, like, when you have a moment where you're feeling stressed and where you're like, I don't know what's next, stop, collaborate, and listen. And God will be there for you. He's got this. Yay. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to try to say it 3 times. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. If I say it slower, it happens. It happens. And I will see you for the next episode, episode 15. Bye.